Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Or if it's your first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Malin and I talk about eating disorder recovery and everything related to healing the relationship with your own body, with food and with movement. And let's dive right into the topic as we always do. Today we're going to talk about signs to know that you are really fully recovered. I just made another video about the question if full recovery is actually possible. And so somebody asked me under the video what the signs are to know if you're fully recovered or not. So let's start with sign number one, which is food is just food. There's no moral value attached to food. Foods are not good and bad, healthy or unhealthy. Food is literally just food, and you find yourself eating a variety of foods and also finding yourself listening to your hunger cues, to your cravings, to the signals that your body is sending you. Because when we are in eating disorder recovery, a lot of people actually have extreme hunger, which is super important to listen to. But over time, you might notice that this extreme hunger is going down. And that is a point where it is super important not to go back into old habits, not to be like, okay, now I'm not super hungry anymore, so now I'm gonna focus on quote unquote eating healthy. When eating healthy actually means balance. So just to give you an example, for me, I have days where I eat a lot of processed food just because I'm busy, because I don't really have time to cook, because I'm out, or honestly just because I'm craving it. And then I have days where I'm cooking at home, where it's like a little bit more quote unquote fresher, but I'm still not adding any value to my food. I'm still not labeling my food as good or bad. At the end of the day, I'm not saying, oh, I did good today because I only cooked at home and I only ate, foods that were not processed, which honestly, nearly every food is processed, by the way. But I'm just not attaching any moral value to my food. Number two is freedom from food obsession. A lot of us were going through a phase where we thought about food all the time. It's often a huge part of eating disorders, but also of recovery. And you might notice that over time, you're not thinking so much about food anymore. Your food focus might not be there anymore. And you're also not obsessing about certain foods, which means you can be like out and about and there's only a certain food available. And you might not really feeling like it, but you still eat it because you know that your body needs energy. And you're not engaging in any ED behaviors and not making up for it, and you're also not like circling around food. So for me, my days are often like super spontaneous. I do eat at work when I'm working. The days when I'm in the clinic, I do eat there, but sometimes there's different kinds of food. Sometimes when I work in later shift, I might not be eating there, so I have to get myself something, and I'm never really obsessing about it. Of course, if you're working in a job where you want to like bring your own food to work just to save money, that's not a food obsession. That's just like planning, to make sure that you have food there. But what I mean by that is basically not obsessing over food and not planning your day around food or movement, but being able to be spontaneous and also to handle changes when it comes to food. And number three is emotional regulation without disordered behaviors. So all of us are going through stressful phases. All of us are grieving, having bad days, having bad weeks sometimes. But the key is to be able to regulate your emotions and to cope with those stressful times without engaging in your ED behaviors. So without restricting again, over exercising, counting calories, anything that is related to your ED should not come up if you are in a stressful phase. I definitely had phases in my recovery where I thought I would be fully recovered, and then something came up and I was like slipping back into old behaviors again. This is something that you will probably have to be very aware of your whole life just because you have a predisposition, but that doesn't mean that you're not recovered. So I am a person that has trouble eating because I just don't have a big appetite when I'm sad or anxious. And so this is something that I'm always making sure of, to have foods at home that are easy to eat for me, to like still eat and to not be like, oh, I'm not hungry, so I'm not gonna eat. And the next one is comfort in your body. I'm not saying loving your body, because I think even if there's people out there who like truly love their body, nobody always loves their body. Nobody always loves what they're seeing. I definitely have days where I don't really like myself as much, like from a physical appearance standpoint, but I still always choose to respect my body and to nourish my body. So comfort in your body means, of course, to be comfortable in your body and to maybe have some kind of like body neutrality, but also to always respect your body and to listen to your hunger cues. And that goes into the next sign, which is trusting your body and trusting your body's cues. So if you are craving something, don't overthinking it and being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that? Why am I craving that? Just trusting your body and give it what it craves and then moving on with your day is another sign of full recovery. And the next sign is finding your own values and identities. Eating disorder recovery is oftentimes a phase where we have to rediscover ourselves, where we have to find out who am I without the identity of an eating disorder, and also what are my values, because unfortunately oftentimes we cannot live up to our values when we're caught up in an eating disorder. So finding yourself and being able to allow yourself to be your true self and to live up to your values is a huge sign of being either very close to recovery or being fully recovered. And then the next one is gonna be joyful movement. So when you notice that you are able to move your body without slipping back into ED behaviors, but also to move your body in a way that is truly aligned with your intuition, that is a big sign of full recovery. What I mean by that is being able to take rests and to not panic if you, for instance, can't work out for a couple of weeks. There are like phases for everyone, whether it's like you're traveling, whether you're sick, whether you're just like stressed out. So everyone will have phases in their life where they won't be able to work out, and everyone should be able to be okay with that. If you feel like it feels triggering or you're panicking when you can't work out, that is a big sign that there's still something off. And the other thing is also finding movement that feels good for you. When I say movement, I don't want you to like work out every day, which is something that is actually way too often for everyone. And I don't even mean that you have to go back to the gym, for instance. Movement can be slight stretching in the morning, it can be yoga, it can be walking your dog. So finding a movement that works for you, but also finding the balance. Some people just like naturally want to move their body more, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it can be so tricky to understand if it's like really your intuition or if it's the eating disorder. So being able to allow yourself to rest is just as big as a part of fully recovered, is just as big a part of being fully recovered as joyful movement. So to sum it up, full recovery is basically a combination of so many components. You will be able to live your life to the fullest, to believe in yourself. Oftentimes full recovery also has to do with a lot of things that are not necessarily only connected to an eating disorder, but like to mental health issues overall. So for instance, self-confidence that comes from the inside that has nothing to do with your body. It's also a great sign and a great strength that you can learn during your recovery. Being able to trust yourself, being able to allow yourself to dream big, to live up to your values, to be spontaneous, to live the life that you really want to live, and especially not focusing on food, on calories, and also not hyper focusing on physical appearance, and especially on your body. I'm not saying that being recovered means that you don't care about your appearance. This is actually a huge misconception that I'm going to make another video about. But it means to not attach your value to your appearance, and especially not to your body. I really hope this video helped you all. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know where you are at in your recovery right now, and I will see you in the next one.